Hey Libra, I just pulled cards for you and honestly I need to sit down for a moment because what came through is absolutely beautiful. I have been doing tarot readings for years now, and sometimes the universe just shows up in ways that make you believe in magic again. This is one of those readings. So grab your coffee or tea, get comfortable because we need to talk about what is coming your way, and trust me, you are going to want to hear every single word of this. Before we dive deep into these cards, I want you to know that this reading showed up with such clear and powerful energy. The cards practically jumped out of the deck, and when that happens, I know the universe has something important to say. So if this resonates with you, and I have a feeling it really will, stick around because by the end of this reading you are going to understand exactly why your reality is about to shift in the most incredible ways. Alright Libra, let me tell you what I am seeing here. I laid out the cards and the first one that appeared is the Six of Swords, and I actually had to pause because this card is all about transition and movement. You know how sometimes you feel stuck, like you are waiting for something to change but nothing seems to be happening? Well, that energy is done. The Six of Swords is telling me that you are moving away from troubled waters and heading toward calmer shores. This is not just a small shift. Libra, this is a major transition in your life. What I find really interesting about this card in your reading is the timing. The Six of Swords does not show up randomly. It appears when you have done the inner work, when you have processed the difficult emotions, and when you are finally ready to leave behind what no longer serves you. I am seeing that you have been in a period of reflection, maybe even some sadness or disappointment about how certain things turned out in your life. But here is what the universe wants you to know. That period is coming to an end. You are literally being guided toward better circumstances, better energy, and better opportunities. The Six of Swords often represents a journey, and this could be literal or metaphorical. For some of you this might mean actual physical travel, or relocation. Maybe you have been thinking about moving to a new place or taking a trip that will change your perspective. For others, this is about an emotional and spiritual journey, where you are finally releasing old baggage and stepping into a lighter version of yourself. Either way, the movement is happening and it is taking you somewhere so much better than where you have been. What really stands out to me about this card is the sense of guidance that comes with it. You are not making this journey alone, Libra. There is a sense of protection and support around you. Whether that is coming from your own intuition, from spirit guides, or from people in your life who genuinely care about your well-being, you are being looked after. The universe has your back in this transition, and that is such a comforting message to receive. You might have felt alone in your struggles, but you are definitely not alone in your journey forward. Now let me pull the next card for you, and oh wow, Libra, I just drew the Knight of Pentacles, and this is so significant. After the Six of Swords showed us movement and transition, the Knight of Pentacles is coming in to show us the HOW. This knight is all about steady, persistent effort and building something real and lasting. Unlike some of the other knights in the tarot who are impulsive and quick-moving, the Knight of Pentacles takes his time. He is methodical, careful, and incredibly dedicated to his goals. What this tells me about your situation is that the changes coming into your life are not going to be flash-in-the-pan moments. This is not about temporary excitement that fades away quickly. No, Libra. What you are building right now, what you are moving toward is solid and sustainable. The Knight of Pentacles represents someone who shows up every single day and puts in the work even when it is not glamorous, even when no one is watching. That might be you, or it might be someone coming into your life who embodies these qualities. I have to tell you something about this knight that really applies to your reading. The Knight of Pentacles is often associated with financial stability, career advancement, and material security. So if you have been worried about money, if you have been struggling to make ends meet, or if you have been working really hard without seeing the results you want, that is about to change. This knight brings rewards for your efforts. He brings steady income, reliable opportunities, and the kind of security that lets you sleep peacefully at night. But there is more to this card than just material success. The Knight of Pentacles also represents loyalty, dependability, and someone who keeps their promises. In the context of relationships, this could indicate that someone very reliable and committed is either already in your life or about to enter it. This is not someone who plays games or sends mixed signals. This is someone who knows what they want and is willing to work for it. If you have been dealing with people who are inconsistent or unreliable, The energy is shifting toward connections that are much more stable and trustworthy. What I really love about seeing these two cards together, the Six of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles, is that they tell a complete story. You are moving away from instability and chaos, and you are moving toward security and steady progress. The universe is not just taking you out of a difficult situation, it is actively guiding you towards something much better. That is the key message here, Libra. This is not just about ending something painful, this is about beginning something beautiful. Okay, so now I am pulling the third card and I have got the Ace of Wands here, and Libra, let me tell you, this is fire energy coming in hot. After the steady, grounded energy of the Knight of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands bursts onto the scene with passion, creativity, and brand new beginnings. Aces in tarot represent the purest form of their suit's energy, and wands are all about inspiration, action, and creative power. This card is literally a gift from the universe, a spark of divine inspiration that is about to ignite something amazing in your life. The Ace of Wands often shows up when you are about to start a new project, launch a new venture, or dive into something that really excites you. This could be related to your career, where you suddenly get a brilliant idea or an opportunity to do something you have always wanted to do. It could be a creative pursuit that you have been putting off, finally calling to you so strongly that you cannot ignore it anymore. Or it could be the beginning of a passionate new relationship, or the rekindling of passion in an existing relationship. What strikes me most about this card in your reading is the timing of it. Coming after the Six of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands is saying that once you make that transition, and once you start building that stable foundation, you are going to feel inspired in ways you have not felt in a long time. Sometimes when we are stuck in difficult situations, our creativity gets blocked, our passion fades, and we lose touch with what excites us. But Libra, that is all about to change. You are about to feel alive again, enthusiastic again, and ready to pursue something that sets your soul on fire. The Ace of Wands is also a card of courage and confidence. It takes bravery to start something new, to put yourself out there, and to follow your passion, especially if you have been hurt or disappointed in the past. But this card is telling me that you are going to find that courage within yourself. You are going to feel ready to take risks again, to be bold again, and to go after what you really want without holding back. That is such powerful energy, Libra, and I am genuinely excited for you. I also want to mention that the Ace of Wands can represent a person in your life, someone who is charismatic, passionate, and full of energy. This could be someone who inspires you, or someone who joins you in pursuing a shared goal or dream. If you have been feeling isolated or like you are the only one who cares about your vision, this card suggests that you are about to connect with people who share your enthusiasm and who will support your creative endeavors. Now let me see what comes next, and I am pulling the Seven of Cups, and okay, this is interesting because this card can go a few different ways. The Seven of Cups is all about choices, options, and sometimes illusions or fantasies. In this card we see someone standing before 7 cups, each filled with different images representing different paths or possibilities. This can be exciting because it means you have options, Libra, but it can also be a bit overwhelming because having too many choices can make it hard to know which path to take. Given the context of your reading with all this amazing energy about transitions, new beginnings, and creative inspiration, the Seven of Cups is coming in to say, you are going to have multiple opportunities presenting themselves to you. This is actually a really good problem to have. Instead of feeling stuck with no options, you are going to find yourself in a position where you need to choose between several appealing possibilities. Maybe you will get multiple job offers, or several people expressing romantic interest, or various creative projects all calling for your attention. But here is where the Seven of Cups also serves as a gentle warning. Not all of these options are going to be as good as they appear on the surface. Some of these cups contain real treasures, but others contain illusions or things that look better than they actually are. This is where your Libra discernment comes into play. You are naturally good at weighing options and seeing different perspectives, but this card is asking you to look beyond the surface glamour and really evaluate what aligns with your true values and long-term goals. I am also seeing with this card that you might need to be careful about getting too caught up in fantasy or wishful thinking. It is wonderful to dream and envision what you want your life to look like, but the Seven of Cups reminds us that we also need to ground those dreams in reality. Some of you might be idealizing a person or a situation, seeing only what you want to see rather than what is actually there. The universe is gently nudging you to keep your eyes open and your feet on the ground even as you reach for your dreams. What I find really helpful about this card appearing in your reading is that it is preparing you for what is coming. You are moving into a phase of abundance and possibility, but with that comes the responsibility of making wise choices. Not every opportunity that comes your way is meant for you, and that is okay. Your job is to tune into your intuition, to remember what the Knight of Pentacles taught us about building something solid and lasting, and to choose the path that truly serves your highest good. All right, Libra, let me pull the next card, and I am seeing the Knight of Cups here. And wow, the energy just shifted in the most romantic and emotionally rich way. The Knight of Cups is often called the romance card of the tarot, and he represents someone who is charming, emotionally expressive, and deeply romantic. This knight is not afraid of his feelings. He wears his heart on his sleeve and he approaches relationships with genuine emotion and sincerity. Now this is where things get really interesting for you, Libra, because the title of this reading mentioned that someone loves you, and the Knight of Cups is often the card that represents that person. This could be someone who is already in your life, someone who has been watching you from afar and working up the courage to express their feelings. Or this could be someone new who is about to enter your life, and who will sweep you off your feet with their genuine affection and romantic gestures. The Knight of Cups is a dreamer and an idealist when it comes to love. This is someone who believes in romance, who wants to create beautiful experiences, and who is not afraid to be vulnerable with their emotions. If you have been dealing with people who are emotionally unavailable or who play games with your heart, this knight is the complete opposite. He shows up authentically, he expresses how he feels, and he makes his intentions clear. For many of you, this is going to feel like a breath of fresh air, like finally someone sees you and appreciates you for who you truly are. But I also want to talk about another dimension of this card, because the Knight of Cups is not just about romantic love. This card can also represent you, Libra, stepping into this energy yourself. Maybe you have been guarded with your heart. Maybe you have built walls to protect yourself from getting hurt again. The Knight of Cups is inviting you to open your heart, to allow yourself to feel deeply and to express your emotions honestly. When we shut down emotionally to protect ourselves, we also shut out the possibility of experiencing real love and connection. This card is saying it is safe to open up again. The Knight of Cups is also associated with creativity and artistic expression. He brings messages, inspiration, and sometimes opportunities related to the arts. If you are a creative person, this knight might represent a project or a creative endeavor that is very close to your heart, something that you pour your emotions and your passion into. This is the kind of work that feels meaningful, not just something you do for money or recognition, but something that genuinely feeds your soul. What I love about seeing the Knight of Cups in your reading, especially after the Seven of Cups, is that, while the Seven of Cups showed us many options and possibilities, the Knight of Cups is about following your heart. Among all those choices, there is one that resonates emotionally with you, one that makes your heart sing, and that is the one you are meant to choose. Your emotions are not leading you astray, Libra, they are guiding you toward what is truly meant for you. Now I am drawing the sixth card, and I have got the Nine of Pentacles and Libra. This card makes me want to celebrate for you because this is the card of independence, success, and enjoying the fruits of your labor. The Nine of Pentacles shows us someone standing in a beautiful garden surrounded by abundance. Someone who has worked hard and now gets to enjoy the results of that work. This is your energy coming through, Libra, and it is absolutely gorgeous. The Nine of Pentacles tells me that you are stepping into a period of self-sufficiency and personal achievement. This is not about depending on anyone else for your happiness or your success. This is about you creating a beautiful life for yourself on your own terms. You have put in the work, you have overcome challenges, and now you are reaping the rewards. This card often appears when someone has achieved a level of financial independence or professional success that allows them to live comfortably and enjoy life's pleasures. What I find really empowering about this card is the energy of self-worth and self-respect that comes with it. The person in the Nine of Pentacles knows their value. They have cultivated their skills, they have invested in themselves, and they are not willing to settle for less than they deserve. This is such an important message for you, Libra, especially if you have been in situations where you felt undervalued or taken for granted. The Nine of Pentacles is saying you are recognizing your worth, and you are creating a life that reflects that. This card also speaks to luxury and refinement. You have good taste, Libra, and the Nine of Pentacles says, you are going to be in a position to surround yourself with beautiful things that bring you joy. This is not about being materialistic or superficial, it is about acknowledging that you deserve to live in an environment that feels good to you. Whether that means upgrading your living space, investing in quality items that last, or simply giving yourself permission to enjoy nice experiences, this card says you have earned it. I also want to talk about the independence aspect of this card because it is so significant. The Nine of Pentacles often appears when someone has done the inner work to become whole and complete within themselves. You are not looking for someone else to complete you, or to make you happy. You are happy on your own, you are thriving on your own, and from that place of wholeness you can attract relationships and opportunities that truly enhance your life rather than fill a void. That is such mature and healthy energy, Libra. Now here is what is beautiful about the Nine of Pentacles appearing in a reading that also includes the Knight of Cups. When you are standing strong in your own independence and success, when you know your worth, and you are not desperate for love or validation, that is when you attract the highest quality connections. The Knight of Cups is not coming to rescue you or complete you. He is coming to complement the already amazing life you are building for yourself. That is the kind of love worth having. Let me pull the next card, and I am seeing the Page of Swords here, and this brings in a completely different energy. The Page of Swords is curious, sharp-minded, and always seeking truth. This is the card of communication, new ideas, and intellectual curiosity. Pages in tarot often represent messages or new beginnings in their suit, and swords are all about thoughts, communication, and truth. The Page of Swords in your reading suggests that you are about to receive some important information or news. This could come in the form of a message, a conversation, an email, or even something you discover through your own research or investigation. The Page of Swords is always alert, always paying attention, and he notices things that others might miss. This tells me that you need to stay aware and observant because important information is coming your way. What I find interesting about this page is that he represents a kind of fearless honesty. The Page of Swords is not afraid to ask difficult questions or to speak uncomfortable truths. In your situation, this might mean that you are going to have some honest conversations or that you are going to receive information that clarifies a situation that has been confusing or unclear. Sometimes the truth can be challenging, but it is always better to know where you stand than to operate based on illusions or half-truths. The Page of Swords can also represent a person in your life, someone who is young or young at heart, who is intelligent, communicative, and perhaps a bit direct or blunt in their communication style. This could be someone who brings you information, or someone who challenges you intellectually. Pages can also represent an aspect of yourself, and in this case the Page of Swords might be calling you to embrace your own intellectual curiosity, to ask questions, to seek truth, and to communicate clearly and directly. I am also seeing with this card that you might be entering a phase where you are learning new things or developing new skills, particularly related to communication technology or intellectual pursuits. The Page of Swords loves to learn and grow mentally. Maybe you will take a course, start studying something new, or dive deep into a subject that fascinates you. This intellectual stimulation is going to feel really good, Libra, especially combined with all the other positive energy in your reading. One thing to be aware of with the Page of Swords is that this energy can sometimes be a bit restless or scattered. There is so much mental activity, so many ideas, and so much information coming in that it can be hard to focus. Make sure you are grounding yourself and not getting too caught up in overthinking or analysis paralysis. The Page of Swords wants to explore all the possibilities, but at some point you need to make decisions and take action. Now I am pulling the 8th card and I have got the 8 of Swords, and okay, Libra, this is an important one to talk about. The 8 of Swords traditionally shows someone who is blindfolded and surrounded by swords, feeling trapped and unable to move. This is the card of self-imposed limitations, mental prisons, and feeling stuck. Now before you worry, let me explain what this means in the context of your reading, because it is actually a really powerful message. The 8 of Swords appearing here is showing me what you are leaving behind. Remember that 6 of Swords at the beginning of your reading that showed you moving away from troubled waters? The 8 of Swords represents those troubled waters. This card is showing me that you have been feeling restricted, held back, or trapped by your own thoughts, fears, or beliefs. Maybe you have been telling yourself that you cannot have what you want, or that you are not good enough, or that it is too late to change your circumstances. But here is the crucial thing about the Eight of Swords that most people do not realize. The person in this card is not actually physically bound. The swords around them are not touching them. They could remove the blindfold and walk away at any time. The prison is mental, not physical. And that is exactly what the universe is showing you, Libra. The limitations you have been experiencing have been largely self-imposed. You have had more power and more freedom than you realized all along. Seeing this card in your reading is actually incredibly hopeful, because it means you are becoming aware of these self-imposed limitations. You are starting to see that the stories you have been telling yourself about what is possible for you are just that, stories. They are not truth. And once you see this, once you really understand that you have the power to remove the blindfold and walk toward freedom, everything changes. The Eight of Swords also relates to anxiety, overthinking, and fear-based thinking. You might have been so worried about making the wrong choice, or so afraid of getting hurt again that you have stayed stuck in place, unable to move forward. But with all the other cards in your reading showing movement, change, and positive new beginnings, the Eight of Swords is saying that you are breaking free from that paralyzing fear. You are finding your courage again. What I want you to understand, Libra, is that every other card in this reading, the movement of the Six of Swords, the stability of the Knight of Pentacles, the inspiration of the Ace of Wands, the choices of the Seven of Cups, the romance of the Knight of Cups, the independence of the Nine of Pentacles, the clarity of the Page of Swords. All of this becomes possible when you release yourself from the Eight of Swords. When you stop limiting yourself with fear and self-doubt, you open up to receive all these gifts the universe wants to give you. Alright, now I am pulling the ninth card, and this is powerful, Libra. I have got the King of Swords here, and this king represents mastery of the mind, clarity of thought, and the ability to see truth with perfect precision. The King of Swords is the most intellectually developed card in the entire deck. He has wisdom, experience, and the ability to cut through confusion and see situations exactly as they are. The King of Swords in your reading tells me that you are stepping into this energy of mental clarity and wise decision-making. After the confusion of the Seven of Cups and the mental imprisonment of the Eight of Swords, the King of Swords brings crystal-clear perception. You are going to know what to do, Libra. You are going to see your situation with such clarity that the right path forward will be obvious to you. This king is also about truth and integrity. He values honesty, fairness, and justice. As a Libra, you naturally resonate with these qualities because your sign is represented by the scales of justice. The King of Swords is reinforcing your natural ability to see all sides of a situation, to weigh options fairly, and to make decisions based on logic and truth, rather than emotion or wishful thinking. This does not mean ignoring your emotions, it means balancing your heart and your head, which is something you are particularly good at. The King of Swords can also represent a person in your life, someone who is intelligent, authoritative, and excellent at communication. This might be a mentor, an advisor, or someone in a position of authority who gives you good counsel or helps you see your situation more clearly. This person speaks truth even when it is difficult to hear, and their guidance can be invaluable. If you have been needing advice or perspective, the King of Swords suggests that help is available to you. What I love about this king appearing near the end of your reading is that he represents the culmination of a journey toward wisdom and clarity. You are not the same person you were when this cycle began. You have learned, you have grown, and you have developed the mental strength and clarity to navigate whatever comes your way. The King of Swords is you, Libra, stepping into your power, as a wise and discerning individual who cannot be fooled or manipulated because you see truth clearly. Now I am pulling the 10th and final card of your reading, and Libra, I have got the Knight of Pentacles again, and actually wait, no, I am seeing this differently. Now let me look again. Actually, the final card here is showing me powerful earth energy, and I realize I need to look at what has not appeared yet from your specific cards. Let me see the energy clearly. Actually, Libra, I need to be fully transparent with you about what I am seeing. Looking at the complete picture of your reading, the final piece of this puzzle is about grounding all of this incredible energy into reality. You have had movement, transformation, inspiration, choices, romance, independence, clarity, and now the final message is about making it all real and tangible in your physical reality. The overall message of your reading is this, Libra: your entire reality is about to turn over in the most beautiful way. You are leaving behind limitation, fear, and stagnation. You are moving toward stability, success, and fulfillment. You have incredible opportunities coming your way, and yes, someone does love you or is about to love you deeply. The gifts the universe is bringing you are not just spiritual or emotional, they are real, tangible blessings that will change your day-to-day life. But here is what you need to do to receive all of this. You need to release the Eight of Swords mentality. You need to remove that blindfold and recognize your own power. You need to use the clarity of the King of Swords to make wise choices among the many options presented by the Seven of Cups. You need to allow the Knight of Cups to bring emotional richness into your life, whether that is through romance or through reconnecting with your own heart. And you need to embody the Nine of Pentacles by knowing your worth and refusing to settle for less than you deserve. The countless gifts mentioned in your reading title are real, Libra. They are coming through in every area of your life: career, finances, relationships, creativity, personal growth, all of it. This is your time. This is your season of transformation and blessing. The universe has been preparing you for this, and now it is happening. I want you to pay attention over the coming weeks and months to how these energies show up in your life. Notice the transitions, the opportunities, the people who enter your life, the moments of clarity and inspiration. This reading is not about some distant future, it is about what is unfolding for you right now. You are already in the beginning stages of this transformation, even if you cannot see the full picture yet. Thank you so much for being here with me for this reading, Libra. I would love to know if this resonated with you and what you are experiencing in your life right now. The energy around you is so beautiful, and I am genuinely excited to see how all of this unfolds for you. Remember, you are worthy of every good thing coming your way. Trust the journey, trust yourself, and know that you are supported by the universe every step of the way.